What's up, Otakus? It's your tour guide here. Um, yeah, normally we reserve this time to read a comic, but I'm going to just take a break this week from reading a comic. I've been spending the reason I'm late hopping on is because I've been spending the past couple of hours just organizing. You know, when you move 200 books out of your collection and you add 50 books, um, I have this weird thing where I try to put the better books in like nice mylar, clear backing boards, just the nicer, um, holders, or what's the word I'm looking for? The protective sleeves. I try to put those in, and man, yeah, it just when you start doing that, you just get a bunch of books and you're swapping books out and stuff. So I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? So that's kind of what I was doing, just trying to put the better books in the better bags and boards and kind of reorganizing everything. I've also had to kind of shift stuff around from my uh, filing cabinet. Filing cabinet, the bottom drawer is where I keep most of the Superman books. So I added a bunch of Superman books yesterday. And yeah, we had to kind of shift some stuff around, some stuff in boxes and everything. So that's kind of what I was doing today. Let me show you what I got. So I because I gave a bunch of books away, I also gave Bigsby, a Big B, just a bunch of boxes. And I was kind of lacking like a short box or whatever to keep my books. So today I conveniently went to Costco. I got some rotisserie chicken, and yeah, I got one rotisserie chicken item, but I was looking because they got a bunch of boxes there, and if you're really, you can size them up, right? You can size up on this. Looks about like a short box dimensions, and I just picked a box up and just show you. Ugh. Oh, my back. Be careful with my back. So, as you can see, I took some Myers multi-surface. It's a pretty big box. I took this big box and I converted it into a short box from the comics. I don't know if you can see this, but let me just. There we go. This is kind of what it looks like from the top. So it's a real cheap way to save yourself some money. um, Again, just kind of size up the box. I did put some like it's open. It's open on this side here. You can see it kind of some additional cardboard. You can keep, kind of like backing boards or whatever you want here on the side. But you got a nice place here to store your books. So, yeah, I mean, just want to I mean, there's not much I want to do tonight except, oh, my hair's doing funky stuff. Um, I guess we can kind of go over. I'm just feeling really ecstatic with the collection, or at least ecstatic with the trade haul we got yesterday. I just really am enjoying the trade activity, because what's really nice about yesterday's trade, um, so maybe some of you are just like, what are you talking about? So yesterday I met up with Psychotronic Skirt Gun and Big Big B Comic, Big B Collectibles, and it was a trade essentially. And I was able to trade 200 of my books for 50 kind of really focused books, older books. And yeah, I think in terms of value, I got pretty much equivalent value for even those. I was giving him more books. I felt like the value was fair. I think he got a little bit more value than I did, but that was intentional because I definitely wanted to, since he's taking the bulk of stuff, he got, he took advantage of some bulk pricing. I kind of rounded down the values for the end there, but all in all, this was the biggest trade I've ever taken part in, and 200 books out the door. And so a lot of those books have just, over the past few years, been diving, finding these books for really cheap, and then getting full book value. Well, let me take that back. Some of the $2-3 books, some of the under $10 books, 10 and under dollar books, those are kind of bulked priced to like $2 and $5. So a lot of just not a lot of value there. But where we did kind of pick up value was, I would always pick up like $20 keys, $30 keys for like, a couple dollars or half a cover, things of that nature. So we were able to get good value there, like giving, like, for example, I'd pick up a $20, $30 book for $2. Well, yesterday's trade, we got a full $20, $30 of value from that key. So yeah, it was interesting to do all that work and then in one trade. Because when you go out, I'm not necessarily picking up silver, bronze, age Superman when I go out. And if I am at the LCS, I'm usually paying $5 to $10 for low to mid grade copies. So yesterday was just a really nice, kind of like all that work went into a really enjoyable trade experience, and all that work had paid off in the end, right? All those random moments of being out, picking something up, eventually you end up in a situation where someone wants all that and they have stuff you want, and you're able to make it happen. So I'm just really, really thankful to both Psychotronic and Big B. Uh, I plan to hopefully meet up with those guys down the road again. I think we talked about doing something in Portland, maybe in the summer. So we'll see how that works out. All right, so I just thought I'd take this opportunity to kind of, I guess, show off some books. I guess we could do that. Let's do that. Let's start with this little stack here. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna share because there's a lot of Neal Adams Superman goodness in here. So I think I'm just gonna share with you some of the stuff we picked up, or this I shouldn't say picked up the stuff we have in our Neal Adams collection. I haven't done that in a while, so we'll just show off Neal Adams Superman books because that's his legacy character. It's Neal's legacy character, so nothing better than on a Monday night. Nothing better than showing off some Neal Adams Superman books here. I guess we'll start here with Superman 254. This is a Nick Cardy cover, but this has one of the because usually comics from this era, we're talking silver, gold and silver, bronze. I would even say even up to the copper, right? Comics always had one main story. Hey, what's up, fanboy? How you doing, man? Are you at work? Are you at home? Hope you're having a good evening, man. Thanks for hanging out with me last night. That was just fun. I'm kind of going over Neal Adams books now because I've got pretty sizable Neal Adams Superman collection now, so I just thought I'd share with you guys kind of what we have, and should be a fun time. Oh man, well, hope you're having a good time at work. I'll try to entertain you in the backdrop. All right, so we got Superman 254 here. This is just a really cool issue because, again, like I was saying, comics have one main story and then they sometimes have a follow-up story, like a secondary story. And they're usually really short, kind of filler stuff if the main story is not like a full comic book. But we essentially got a Neal Adams kind of follow-up story here in the back where he's actually doing the panel work. And yeah, you'd think, oh, Neal Adams, he's done a lot of interior work for Superman. Well, that's actually not the case. It's pretty few and far between. Again, he was doing, his main run was Batman in the 70s with Denny O'Neil. But Neal early on kind of fell victim to his talent. He kind of was like, hey, when you put out a cover, people want to buy the cover or people want to buy the book. So he became more of like a cover artist than anything else. And yeah, again, when you get some you know, you have a rare opportunity to get a book where Neal's done some interior work on Superman. It's a must-have for my kind of collectors. Um, so yeah, 254, really special issue here. Neal Adams with a just brilliant. I mean, I think I showed it off on a video once. I opened this book up and showed off his interior work. Just absolutely brilliant stuff. I would say this is like peak. Um, this sort of like early 70s, early to mid 70s period was just peak Neal Adams. He was just at the top of his game right around the time I was born. So yeah, that's pretty cool. All right. Next book, we've got Action Comics, $3.99. I got some like staining here that is really kind of unsightly and really detracts from the grade right there. But um, yeah, in terms of the cover artwork, it's noticeably Neal Adams. $3.99. Some good stuff right there. Next, we got the Superman haters. We hate the haters. Yeah, Superman. Hang on, give me a second here. Yeah, one thing I really love about this cover is there really was a period um, during my collecting era where people really just dislike Superman. And part of that, I think, is Frank Miller's fault. But another part of it is collectors themselves. Collectors just turned on Superman because, I guess they just thought he got boring. And, I think fans do have a little bit of a legitimate gripe there. I think the people working on Superman wasn't really until like the early 90s when DC started like, okay, we've got to get like different people on the book. I should say bringing in John Byrne and then post Byrne is when they started like to really kind of bring in more creative people to tackle Superman. They had a really talented group of artists and writers working on the various titles that Superman was in. But prior to the Byrne, the post-crisis reset, prior to that, yeah, it was like really there wasn't a lot of innovation going on that title because you had Kurt Swan just refusing to die and let go of the reins. He just kept continuing to do the interior for Superman. And you had like 3 or 4 old school writers continue to like pump out the same, the same narrative, like they were living in the 50s still when, the comic book genre was kind of turning more toward gritty, kind of darker more violent type stories, right? We had Punisher, Wolverine, like X-Men dealing with, you know, they're dealing with discrimination. Yeah, no bedtime tonight. I just thought I'd show off the Neal Adams collection, Ron. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I'm just we're gonna read next week. I know I've been kind of this is like the second week we've taken off reading, but we'll get back into it. I just haven't been feeling like reading books as of late. I've been reading a lot of books um, because of the course I was taking. So just taking a nice little break here. But getting back to this book, yeah, I think people did have a legitimate gripe to complain about how Superman hadn't evolved with the times. And then when Byrne tried to kind of update the character, he was met with a lot of backlash. And I guess Byrne didn't go far enough. Um, he had kept the essence of the character too caught up in the essence of the character, right? So it again, people just said, you know what, I prefer X-Men, I prefer Spider-Man, I prefer all these other things, and they continued to just uh, he was losing support. Let's just say his PR department wasn't. So finally, they just killed him. They said, you know what, we're going to kill him. Yeah, you guys don't deserve. You don't deserve Superman. We'll kill him off. And then they came back, and it's kind of been a love-hate relationship since you know, I want to say since the Bronze Age. It's just Superman's been kind of either you love him or you hate him. There's been no middle ground. Right, Ron? Yeah. So yeah, this is the Ingrate's cover. Superman just sick of everybody's hatred, and he's at it. Beautiful Adams cover there. Got another cover here. Got Action 405. He's protecting the president. This is the notice this is the actual kind of the same pose that Superman 233. Let me get this out here. So as you can see, Neal hated this issue because they redid the leg. The anchor that worked on it redid the leg, and as you can see, it doesn't look natural. It looks really off. I mean, who stands like that, really, right? But this is the way I think Neal had intended the leg to look like. And so we get the proper stance right there. Neal kind of redoing what they had messed up initially. And yeah, I think this pose here looks much, much better. So there you go. Action 405. Some more Neal Adams stuff. Goodness there. This is a key issue here. First appearance of Terraman. Superman 249. That's beautiful. Look at that horse right there. We haven't really seen Terraman in anything. I don't think even like DC animation or anything has really covered Terriman. Maybe he's been in some recent comics, but I feel like this is a character that's just, I guess one of the reasons Superman didn't feel modern is because you kept having characters like this pop up. You know, the Terramans and the Toymans of the world. Um, that's why we love Superman. We've also got Adventure 369, Mordru the Merciless. This is the first appearance of that Legionnaire story here. We're dead. His magic is greater than our combined superpowers. Oh dear. Who is that? Is that Astrolad or somebody? I don't know. Legionnaire. There's so many Legionnaires. I gotta keep track of them. All right, we got this is a great one. Superman fighting himself. Got a lot of those kinds of motifs. Superman, either with Bizarro or an imitation, copy, clone, something. Younger self. Got all of those. Two Supermans on the issue. Ron, I'm sure you have all of these issues. That's good. Right. Oh, wow. You're talking about Terraman. Okay. Yeah, I know. I know you have most of them. I'm sure your Superman collection is impressive, to say the least. Um, I wouldn't mind getting this one in better grade. I think it's not in terrible shape, but just figure like getting this one in a crispy, clean, minty one would be nice. In fact, I just feel like all my Neal Adams books, especially some of the key like iconic cover ones, those would be nice to get in high grade. We'll work on that. This one is from yesterday. We actually got this from the trade hall yesterday. Pretty cool concept here for the cover. You got sort of a phasing out Superman and this dude here. You are now leaving New York. Guess he's crossing the Brooklyn Bridge or something. I don't know. But yeah. Adams lived in New York City, so that's pretty good. Alien there. Masterful, masterful work. All right, what else we got here? Got some Superboy. Crypto. I love you guys love this Crypto cover here. Crypto being the good dog. His master's down, he's trying to cheer him up. This is another one I wouldn't mind because mine has a little chip there in the corner. I wouldn't mind getting this one in a nicer grade. I think it has a slight some creasing here as well. Yeah. But Crypto looks good. And we got Superboy 172. I think this is the first appearance of one of the ape characters here. This one's actually, no, it's got some issues there. Spine is decent though. Not too bad on the spine. Yeah, some staple stress This is a red copy. All of my copies are red. Don't mind people reading the books. So as long as they're not drawing all over the comics. Somebody actually sold this for 3 cents. That can't be right. What's going on there? This one's in rough shape here. Another one I wouldn't mind getting in better grade here. This is iconic right here. All these like monsters. Again, another sort of public hatred of Superman here boiling over. Enemy of Earth. We don't want you on Earth anymore. We hate the Superman haters. This one I picked up yesterday. This is really, really actually nice copy here. For a black cover, you got some. Put it at a 4.0. Not too bad. Yeah. For a dark cover, that's not so bad. Superman, super what? Wow. You could get them also, they would kind of be like back issue versions, right? Back issue bin versions or comic book shops. Kids in the neighborhood would just, hey, you want to buy my red comic books? Oh, sure, yeah. That's actually pretty smart. Hopefully they weren't too abused. It'd be nice to just go back in time and get these off the, you know what I mean? Like if you could go back and just get all the key first issues and just stash them somewhere for many years. We'd all be rich. Right. Yeah, I'm sure there was some kid who just like read them and wanted to make some money, right? Sell them to nerds like us. Yeah, that's really smart, Ron. Your collection, I'm sure, is has a lot of probably neat memories of the kids that sold you the books. Yeah. The real foresight is, really protecting them. So if you got like a Superman 1, you got a reader's copy and you got a copy to kind of protect and stash away. Those are the collections you see that are just like really, really super expensive, right? These like kids from the 50s who had the foresight to like bag and board the book and like protect it over the years and sell it at auction. Those that were, they've been sitting in a box, kind of read once, untouched. I think that's what the recent Superman sale was, right? Just had it was just in a box, been sitting there, and it hadn't been touched in years, and it's just one of the highest grade Superman comic books you'll ever find. Right? It's not just about putting it away somewhere. It has to be like weather protected, right? It can't be too humid. It can't be too cold. Because if you get those temperature fluctuations just over the years and time, that alone will wear degrade a book. So it's about keeping it dry, keeping it kind of in a temperature steady. So like, yeah, the attic would not be a good place for that. It's like, unless it's in the corner of an attic somewhere and it's cool in the attic versus like humid and hot. That's a lot of factors go into, because it just sitting, sometimes that can damage a book because it's not under ideal conditions, temperature and weather-wise. But yeah, a lot of factors have to go into maintaining the quality of a book. So, you just kind of have to get lucky with those kinds of things. Right. Attics are terrible. Basements, attics. It's kind of got to be in like uh, insulated, dark, enclosed area, bro, where it's not, where heat isn't seeping in, where it's not getting too cold and all that. So, a lot of things need to go into getting a golden age book in pristine condition. All right, we got some more Neal Adams here. We got Superman 308. These are some of his later covers, later but no less brilliant. Absolutely brilliant stuff here. And next we've got, oh, I love this one, Supergirl, the super shorts. It looks like the super shorts are kind of bunching up on our girl here. I don't know if that was intentional or what, but the shorts are kind of bunching up, and she drops Candor. Yikes, that's not good. Let's keep the show going. What do you say? I'm gonna keep the show going here. This is actually gifted to me by Roger. And this was a book that he had pressed and cleaned and gotten really spiffy. And again, he gifted it to me because he knows that I like Superman. So thanks, shout out to Roger. But I took this copy and I got it signed by Joe Rubinstein. And Joe was kind enough to sign it kind of near Neal Adams. I don't know. I wish he had kind of avoided it, to be honest. Kind of wrote over the signature like he had more to do with this artwork than Neal did. But yeah, I mean, he did a brilliant inking job here, taking nothing away from Rubinstein. But yeah, this is definitely this was Neal Adams' last cover on Action Comics. And I say last cover because he's done, I think, additional, I think he's done like variant covers and stuff maybe on Action. But this is his first, like his final kind of actual run work on Action. So very key issue here. And of course, again, we get the breaking of the chains kind of done properly. And he cuts off the legs just to, I guess, make a point. he is really salty about the revision on his legs, on Superman's legs. Very salty. Absolutely. I think if it's a Superman Golden Age, most people want that. So you got to market for that. I'll buy it for $5. Come on, give it to me for $5. All right, well, that again, classic, iconic, last Action Comics cover by Neal. Keeping the train rolling here. Let's keep going here. We've got one of the earlier Action Comics. This is in really nice shape. I want to put this one like, I mean, there's just not too much wrong outside a couple spine ticks. Corners remain sharp. This one looks really nice. I think it'd come back like a 7.5. What do you think, Ron? Give me a grade on this baby. Where would you put the grade? It's got spine ticks, so but it's really, edges are sharp, edges are straight. Wish my camera would focus. Hang on. There we go. Oh, wait. Yeah, it's still within the 7.5. Maybe a 7. I'll show you the back too. Yeah, I'd put it around a 7. Well, it's got some, is that staining? Not really, that's not staining. That looks to be like a stamp. There you go. I put it at a 7 for a Silver Age book. It's not too bad. Beautiful. Look at the suit, the cut, the fabric there of the slacks. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant stuff. Let's see, what do we got here? We got, oh, this is a nice one. We got Jimmy Olsen with an infinity cover here. This one is a really cool piece of cover art because you have Kurt Swan and Neal Adams collaborating on this piece. Neal did the inking and Kurt did the original sketch, but yeah, it's like very, very Neal-esque, Adams-esque, if you ask me. They tell me put a little signature Superman face there on Kurt's original sketch. Sure, Kurt didn't mind. Let's see here. What else we got? Just trying to find my Neal Adams books here. All right, that's a cool one. 7 to 7.5. Yeah, glad you agree. 7 conservatively. I agree. I concur. This one, I think this one, so, you know, Roger and I, when we're able to, send him books and he kind of, he graciously works on books and then we kind of share the process, and it's a fun, I have loads of fun doing it because I learn a lot about pressing and the process, and Roger is able to just share his his wisdom, and also share his skills by improving the books here. And this is a book in our next session that I want to send him, because I know you can't see it. Looks actually really good, but there's, maybe if I show it from the top, there's just maybe you can kind of see it through there's this rippling, there's like humidity exposure, so it's like kind of stiff, and there's this rippling in the book. And yeah, with a good press, this would just be a phenomenal copy here, because the spine is really in great shape right there. You can see. So yeah, with a good press, get this thing nice and floppy and malleable. This would be fantastic. And it's such a great cover here. You got the three villains, unhappy birthday. Then you got his pals and gals. This is just 80-page. This is classic stuff right here. Neal Adams cover. What more do you want? Seriously, what more? What more can you ask for in a book? Not much. All right, we're this is from yesterday's trade. Got a Neal Adams cover here. This one is actually in really nice condition. I would put this one also I would also put this in the 657 range. Corners are not that sharp. Yeah, it's still 7. Spine is, again, dark cover here. Hopefully that there's nothing. Well, no, we got some schmutz on the back. So yeah, this would probably be, again, with a clean, we could probably get up to a 7, but with that schmutz there, it's probably going to be like a 656. Staples are still good. They're not rusty. Yeah. Nice book here. 236. Nice Neal Adams cover there with the devils here. Help, save me. Only the dead may enter the gates of hell. Dare you, Superman. Superman. Yeah. Be careful here. Look at that. All right. Let's see, we got some Lois Lane, Neal Adams Lois Lane goodness. Officer, I give you my word of honor. This girl is a dangerous criminal. She must be imprisoned for life. Oh man. What are you doing, Superman? It's got a clear plastic backing board. So yeah. Yeah, it's got these I guess you can't see it. It's got a clear backing board in the back, so yeah, they are somewhat protected. Um, here's Lois Lane 83. This is a favorite cover for a lot of people. Witch on Wheels. I forced Lois to ride with a cycle gang, and I've made Clark Kent quit his chicken pose. That's good stuff right there. I actually got these and I rebagged and boarded all the stuff. So yeah, it's in like Mylar and clear backing boards. So it took a lot of work doing that. In fact, I kind of the reason I jumped on late yesterday was because I was kind of organizing that, and then I went to bed late last night, doing that, and then I was also doing it for the past 2 hours. So kind of done with it now. So everything's pretty organized now. So it's a lot of um it can be depending on like your definition of expensive. I know people who spend more on like those like clear slabs and whatnot for their comics. But if you get these, like I think I got 100 backing boards, clear backing boards, and 100 Mylar bags. It cost me, I think, what did it cost me? It cost me like $130. So it's about $1.30 per book. Sorry, $1.30 per backing board and bag at the end of the day. So if that's kind of reasonable to you, I really don't need additional like a top load or anything with this. I figure that's pretty decent for bagging and boarding. But yeah, it is more expensive than your traditional cardboard, cardstock backing board. All right, we got some classic Neal right there. What else we got here? No Neal in that stack. We're gonna keep the party rolling, though. Let's see here. Let's just get this stack here. See what we got. Oh yeah, Superboy here. Superboy 159. This we got yesterday, and I'm very excited about this one. It's actually a decent copy here. I think we got like a 7.0 copy here. You got some little bit of not too bad of creasing there, just some minor creasing there. Maybe this is probably closer to a 6. But as you can see, a really nice shape. Corners are still relatively sharp there. Beautiful gloss for a Silver Age book. Let's see the back here. The back looks nice and clean. Yeah. This had a 7.0. Solid 7. Ron, need your stamp of approval here on the grade. That look like a 7 to you? Yeah, it should last longer than it's non-acidic. The plastic's non-acidic. All right, I'll check it out. Legend of Northern Blade. Is there a free like digital download? I haven't really read a lot of manhwa. I know it's kind of big now. It's getting bigger, and it is. I hear, it's kind of on par with manga in terms of quality, and um, I'm glad to see that. But yeah, I don't read too much manga. Welcome, welcome, Joy Caden. Nice to have you here, man. Hope you had a good weekend. All right, we got Superman 213. I got this for $10, I think. And I might have overpaid a little bit, $10 for this one, but yeah, it's nice, solid mid-grade copy. Maybe for a 4.0 copy here we got. 4.0 or somewhere around there. Yeah, I'd put it at a 4.0. It's not terrible. Maybe a 3.5. A lot of people would round on that creasing, so maybe a 3.5. We'll say 3.7. This one is also like a 5.0 copy. 215. This one's a iconic cover here. 180. World's Finest. Absolutely iconic cover there. Superman 206. This one's low grade. Got the rusty staples there. Not too bad on the creasing though. Some stains. Yeah, not terrible. Maybe keep it in the 3.5 range. 4 or 3.5, somewhere around there. It's free. Okay. All right. I'll check it out. I need to read it. I have so much stuff to read these days. I just got Golden Age Superman books to read as well. I'm trying to get those. Trying to read those as well. This is not a good copy, but not terrible. Three five. The 3.5. All right. Well, keep the party going here. Just getting started. Okay, what do we got? We want Neal. We want more Neal who's here. We got Superman 219. That's a great cover there. bangers coming up. Just keep it into here. All right. Yeah, we got Superman 219. Better poor grade than no grade. Absolutely. I'm not, I've always said I'm not much of a grade snob, but I think I do have my, I do have a cut line for a grade, meaning like I don't mind um, some rips or creasing and all that, as long as like this is a great example, right? Got this big crease here, but that doesn't bug me. What would bug me is like a big chunk missing. Like a small tear is even fine as long as you kind of, it's kind of localized, not too bad. But like big chips or chunks missing out of a book, that would kind of be um, I guess where I maybe, depending on the book, but that's probably where I draw the line. Probably not picking it up, right? It's got this big chunks missing out of it. Um, but yeah, with some of the Golden Age books, uh, I think that would get a pass, right? But for like a Silver Age book, yeah, you don't want to see big rips or chunks missing. So there you go. This is nice. That's a nice book there. All right. What do we got here? We got some Green Lantern. Sorry to mix it up here on you, but beautiful Green Lantern book here. This is also courtesy of Roger. Would impress this book. This is a cover detachment, but outside of that, it's pretty nice shape. Yeah. One thing I kind of want to do before the Green Lantern books for Neal, I do want to get those. I feel like I don't know if the series is going to have any impact on those Neal Adams keys, but I imagine it would. Especially the first John Stewart. That's a big book. I don't think I'll be able to get that book, but there are a lot of really nice from this run here. This is also his run on Green Lantern with Denny O'Neil. I think this would be a nice one to get a couple more issues on, especially the iconic one where Green Arrow was shooting the lantern and smashing it. That would be a really nice one to have. The only issue is it's super expensive. Yeah, I think the older people get, it's harder to find time to read for enjoyment. I think, not to say Ron doesn't read for enjoyment, but it's harder to find time as you get older. Yeah, I get it. It's just maybe we're not prioritizing reading, I guess. Right, Ron? We got, anyway, this is a nice one. This is a nice one here. Again, it's a detached cover, but looks good. All right. A nice little, look at that. Beautiful. Neal Adams Horror here, Phantom Stranger. That's a beautiful book right there. Not Superman though. Not everything has to be Superman. We're back to the program here. Getting back to the. This would be a nice copy if there wasn't that crease right there. That crease just ruins it. Ruins the book. Beautiful, beautiful book though. I love this cover, the falling cover. There we go. Come on, focus. All right, let's focus here. There we go. There you go. Let's keep the show rolling here. Got Lois Lane's. Some Lois Wedding covers here. Bruce Wayne and Lois? Come on. Lucky Bruce Wayne. Lois doesn't know he's Batman. She's marrying him for himself. Gee, of all the things to be jealous about. We also got, this is Neal's first work on a Superman related book. And you can see he gets the assignment. He gets the assignment, not that he got the assignment. He gets the assignment. Absolutely phenomenal Superman there. Oh yeah, Neal, classic Neal stuff right there. On Lois Lane. Now this is my I have a graded copy of this as well. This is a little rougher shape. Got some spine ticks in it and whatnot. But yeah, 419, iconic cover art here. And this one kind of had been, I think, under the radar in terms of value. You could consistently get this book for like 20 bucks, under 20 bucks in some cases, depending on the grade. But now, even in low grade, this book's going to be 20 bucks. Higher grades, I see it on eBay consistently now for over 100 for high grade stuff. So this one's kind of taken flight, no pun intended, in terms of value. And as it should be, this is Neal's legacy character, and this is probably Neal's best Superman cover, if you ask me. Just so dynamic, simple but dynamic. Got a photo cover backdrop. Neal's foreground here. Superman just bursting out, and yeah, love this book. Pick it up if you're a Superman fan. Ron, I know you got a couple copies of that, right? How many copies you got, Ron? I'm sure you got more than one. Joey Caden wants to know who our favorite actors are. James Stewart. He just have one. Okay, that's surprising. Joy, who's your favorite actor? My favorite actor is Robert De Niro. He's just the actor I grew up watching all those great movies. All right, we got this classic Trinity cover here. DC, super spectacular, 100 pages. I paid $17 for this, and I don't regret it. Don't regret it one iota. $17 for a low grade book. Do not regret it. I may have overpaid a little bit, but who cares? I have it. And it's, again, I don't mind all the creasing and whatnot, as long as like that image right there, that is unadulterated comic book goodness right there. If my camera ever comes into focus, there we go. Look at that. All right. And straight off the trading wire, the waiver wire here, coming in. This is from yesterday's trade. This is courtesy of Psychotronic Squirt Gun. This does have a big crease, but all in all, it looks better than my previous copy. Just the color jumps out. It's a lot more vibrant. Back cover is much cleaner than my other copy. So they're about the same grade, but this one just presents a whole lot better. So very happy with this pickup. Second copy. And this one, I'll probably try to get a near mint copy. I don't mind spending. There's a couple Neal Adams books. I just now realize I kind of want high grade. And we'll go over what those are in just a minute. Let me grab some more books and we'll keep this show rolling. Give me a second. All right, I grabbed here for us to look at. Oh wait, hang on. All right. So I was mentioning Shah Rukh Khan. Okay. Sounds like he's like a Bollywood actor. Is he like known for action, romance? Winchester 73. I've never watched that. Never watched Winchester 73. Whoops. All right. More Neal Adams books coming up. Just give me a second here. Case in point, this is another book Roger worked on, did a phenomenal job, but I do want this in high grade. I've been on the lookout for one, hoping to run into it. Now, Grumpy, not Grumpy, what's his name? Bill Kirk, the old man at Bill Kirk coin and stamp. He's got a copy. But it's got issue. It's got some creasing. It's got its spine is kind of a lot of spine damage on that one. And it is better than this copy though. But it's, if I'm gonna get a second copy, I really want it to be kind of like an 8.5 range. So yeah, I'd love to get a really high grade copy of this one. So absolutely one of Neal's best covers on Superman for sure. Speaking of another iconic cover here, we've got 317. That's a nice one right there. We've also got 210. This is really clean. I think this probably is in the, you got like a little issue there. But the spine, man, look how clean that spine is. I mean, I put this conservatively 7.5, probably an 8.5, if you ask me. Yeah, I'd say it's an 8.5. Potential to be like a 9 even. I mean, there's just like that one little thing right there. It's really minute. I know I'm kind of magnifying it, but it's so minute. But the rest of the book is just so super clean. So really high grade copy of this one. I just love this cover too. It's just so phenomenally well put together cover here. We've got Super Baby album here. Beautiful Supergirl. Neal does it. All right, we got Doug stacking in the house, being annoying. I'm gonna put him in a timeout. There we go. Okay, cool. I'm sure if I saw him, I might recognize him. Does he have like a mustache? And no. He probably doesn't have a mustache. But the guy has a mustache. All right. This is from yesterday. And again, beautiful Neal cover here. This is also really nice. I mean, you got a little bit of a crease there. It's barely visible though. It kind of breaks color a little bit, but not. You can kind of see it, right? You see it right there? Kind of breaks color a little bit, but not too. I figure with the press, it will look, this would look phenomenal. That's really the only thing holding this thing back on grade. And this is a big book. This is first second cameo appearance of Darkseid. So big issue here on this one. Really glad I got this one. Yeah, I watched The Intern. That is a nice movie. That's a nice, heartwarming story. It's where he comes in, and he gets on. He's an older adult working in like a tech environment, but yeah, he just like endears himself with the staff and ends up like helping them with their projects and stuff. It's a really good movie. I enjoyed that one. Joey Caden, have you seen Heat? It's a Michael Mann crime, cops and robbers type story set in LA in the 90s. That, if you haven't seen that, I would recommend you watch that. That's a really good long movie though. It's like 3 hours, but well worth it. All right, what else we got? We got a couple more books here and then we'll call it a night. We got some Supergirl in the house. Yeah. Yeah. This one, it's got its issues. The spine is kind of not terrible. Got some edge creasing there, some spine wear, some creases down there. But yeah, I'd put it a solid 3.5. Beautiful though. Look at that. Neal Adams Supergirl right there. I love that. This is also Neal Adams. It's one he did with Kurt Swan and Neal. So there's a lot of Kurt Swan-esque features to it, but also kind of Neal's finish on it. So you do see it. Yeah, Heat, 1995. I guess everybody's seen Heat. It's such a phenomenal film. We got, this one's really clean. Look how nice this copy is. This is Neal's first work on Action Comics. He does the cover here. Brilliant book here. Nice clean copy here. I'd put this easily like an 8.5. Gorgeous copy here. Gorgeous copy. And then we've got a really low grade beat up copy of Dead Man here. But I love it. I overpaid for this one too. I think I paid 20 for this one. Maybe 22, but don't mind. The cover's detached, but cover's detached. I mean, what more can you say? It's detached. Can't go back, restaple it. It is what it is. I love it still. It's one within the threshold of my standards for having it in the collection. All right, we've got a couple more books. We got staying with Dead Man. We got Strange Adventures 216. Beautiful Neal Adams hand work here. The hands, got a lot of hand stuff. A lot of hand work. We got World's Finest. This one's really nice too, except that dun corner crease there. But again, doesn't detract from that image there, so don't mind. It's actually really nice. Without the, if it just didn't have the creasing, it'd be a really nice copy. Clean and doesn't even need a press. As is, really clean. This one, kind of a rough copy here, but second Parasite, classic cover here. What more can you say on this book? Boom. And then probably the most iconic piece in my collection. I always showing this book off. We've got my signed copy of 233. This is a really nice grade too. Conservatively, it's probably a 6.0. Conservatively, a 6.0. Depending on the grader of it, I think there's potential to get a 7. Potentially a 7. The issues are, the spine is a little rough, but all in all, it's just phenomenal looking. I may get this graded someday. That PSA, get a PSA brick slab. But that's well worth grading, in my opinion. If you're going to get a book slabbed and graded, this would be it right there. But no like burning desire to do that anytime soon. I enjoy it in this state. Denzel Washington, he's a good actor. Yeah, he's one of my favorites too. I like Denzel in man, he's been in so many good films. Probably enjoyed. I'm trying to think which movie I enjoyed the most. He Got Game is good. He Got Game. The basketball movie. If you didn't get your comic books early, that's true. Yeah. You would not get pristine. And that's the thing about those spinner racks. They would damage your comic books for sure. If you're getting newsstand spinner rack copies, people are thumbing through them. They're kind of like taking them in and out, flipping through them and putting them back. I mean, you do not want newsstand magazine rack type comics. Those comics are just going to be in rough shape to begin with. But again, back in our day when you were getting books off the rack from 7-Eleven, you didn't really care about condition. You were just getting the book to read and enjoy. So wouldn't be until much later that I realized, hey, condition's important. You got to take care of the books and all that. But early on, when I was enjoying the magazine racks like everyone else, it was a lot of it had to do with just getting the books, not necessarily the condition. All right, well, that was it. I'm probably going to do something kind of more curated and focused for this coming week. I may do like a Superman action, kind of really do a more thorough, because I didn't show off all my Neal Adams books, but I may just do a thorough, like, these are all the Neal Adams and Action Comics Superman books I have in my collection. I may do that, just kind of get them all out and show those off. But this is a pretty comprehensive look at some of the better um, better condition, better valued books in my collection from Neal. So pretty comprehensive, but we can definitely do one that's a lot more. Thanks, man. I want to see you do this, fanboy, because I know you picked up a lot of older books as of late, and you had that big pickup a while back. A lot of the Bronze Age stuff, so be cool to see kind of your how your collections gotten updated as of late. So that'd be cool. Out of Time is one of my favorites with Denzel. Okay. The Equalizer, yeah, I enjoy The Equalizer. Those are fun because you just see bad people get what they deserve, you know. Equalizer. It's gonna take you out because you're being a douche. But yeah, don't get on Denzel's bad side, man. All right, guys. Well, thanks as always for hanging out, man. Enjoy your week this week. We'll be back on Friday. Oh yeah, Liam Neeson. What was it? Taken? Taken? What was it? What was it called? Forget the movie title. Was it Taken? But yeah, later. We'll see you guys. Be back on Friday. But have a great week. Enjoy your books. Enjoy your collections. All right. I think it's important to pick up books, but at the end of the day, connect with some people, do some trading. Um, Definitely worth your time to trade with collectors and just set up some, you know, ground rules on what you value your books at, and if you get buy-in on, well, it's good to communicate, right? You want to know what the other person wants, and that you communicate what you want, and hopefully there's a middle ground. Like it wouldn't make sense for me to trade with Fanboy or Ron because we want the same stuff. It's like you got some Superman. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Ron has a bunch of doubles that he'd trade me. But yeah, it's like don't go into a trade with Superman collectors. Go into trades with Marvel collectors and vice versa. You know, like if you're a Marvel collector, trade with me. If you're a DC guy, trade with the Marvel guys. Generally, there's some places where you won't overlap in your collection, and that's the place to focus on. So it always helps to trade. All right, man. Joy Caden. I don't know if you're saying that to me or if you're being Liam. I'm sure I'll find you. And I have a very, very, what's the line? I have a very particular skill set. All right, guys. Have a great week. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.